Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Today I will present about our introduction for this project. So, the introduction is occupational safety and health is an important aspect of every workplace, including laboratories and workshops in educational institutions. Research aims to protect safety and healthy environment, but also improve productivity. One of the most widely used approach is managing workplace safety is hazard identification, risk assessment, and risk control. That is HARAC. HARAC is a systematic process used to identify potential hazard. The objective of this assignment is to identify the hazard at the Faculty of Electrical Engineering and Technology, Fkte, that is a blue building, and perform risk assessment of the hazard. To recommend control measures based on hazards that have been identified. To work in a team and use professional practice as future engineer when conducting case study. This case study focuses on conducting high-rank assessment at the laboratory and workshop within UML.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. So now I will explain about chapter 2, which is a case study area. For our location, group 37 is focused on blue building at Fkte. So now the location that we found on the blue building, which is flight mechanics laboratory, mechatronics design lab, mechatronics system design lab, and the robotic workshop. So for this three locations, we found 8 equipment that have a hazardous. So the hazardous is classified to low from the higher in our progress report, and then it depends on the different of the hazard for each the hazard. So for this report, we need to use the risk assessment calculation, which is a risk equal to likelihood times severity. So the risk assessment have a 3 class, which is height, medium, and low. So low is the risk rating 1 until 4, and the medium is 5 until 12. For the high risk, which is 15 until 25. So that's all. Thank you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I will explain about the chapter 3, first hazard. So the first hazard is a chemical hazard. Chemical hazard kept in a cabinet, within a glass door. Seems likely to be easy for anyone can access it. Some of the chemical container can be found on open shelf without any labeling, based on a danger categorized. So how the source can occur? So the source of the hazard is chemical containers are kept in a cabinet. So how the hazard can occur? So how the hazard can occur is some of the laboratory users unintentionally drop the chemical bottle and from retrieving the chemical from the cabinet. So I will explain about the risk arrangement. So likelihood rated as 3, conceivable, which chemical easy accessible for laboratory user. So for the severity, which is rated for 4, fatal. So for the exposure of the chemical containers may cause injury, burns, and illness. So for the risk class for this hazard is 5, which is in a medium class. So that's all.
Assalamualaikum. So I will continue this presentation. Okay, for the second hazard, we classify it as a physical hazard, which is involve the maintenance materials such as metal channels, copper cables, and wooden panels that were temporarily placed on the laboratory floor. Okay, this material will placed in a work area instead of designated storage location. As a result, the laboratory user may trip over this material, and this material also may obstruct the movement, especially during the emergency situation. For the risk assessment, the likelihood was rated as 3 because the laboratory frequently used by the students and staff during their daily activities. For the severity, it's rated as 3 because the accidents that involve this material may cause the injury such as cuts, bruises, sprains, and fractures, as well as the as well as damage to the laboratory equipment. Therefore, the risk score is rated as 9, which is classified as medium risk. So that's it for me. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. And now I will continue my presentation about the hazard. The hazard that we encounter is a cable hanging without proper protection, support or termination, making it risky to work at the place. We find this hazard is at the mechatronic system design lab. The exposed cable poses a risk of electric shock if it's become energized or if the installation is damaged. It may accelerate to short circuit, electrical faults, or fire hazard, which could cause injury to equipment and damage to equipment or property. The likelihood of occurrence of this hazard is considered high. It is 4 because the building is frequently occupied by students, staff, and visitors. The severity of the hazard is considered high. That is fatal because the contact of an energized cable can result in electric shock, electric burns, or another serious injuries. The risk level is 16, which is classified as high risk and immediate action.
So for my part, with the spot identification of hazard, based on the report that I found in the report was the main hazard that I found is where a board is on the table without any safety there. So the main hazard is physical hazard, which is present exposed screw tips from a wooden board during an assembly work. So this hazard is frequently seen in a workshop, lab, construction site, and also technical training facility. So for the risk assessment in this, you can see that we have a break in tree, which is likelihood and severity of the risk rating. So likelihood, which is high, is we put a level of 4. Possible to due to the exposed and easily accessibility shaft, screw point unintentionally contact will happen. So when unintentionally contact happens, which affect the severity, which is moderate, exposed to screw tips and new result cracks, bleeding, puncture, wound, and also infection. So for risk rating medium, where we did as 12, planted approach to controlling the hazard and applies temporary measure if possible.
Assalamualaikum. So today we talk about electrical hazard. This equipment is frequently used in lab and workshop to regulate compressor air pressure and flow. Some part of the regulator and fitting look to be frosted and warm. Additionally, the equipment is surrounded by an air hose that, if properly handled, could lead to a safety risk. So this is categorized as an electrical hazard because compressed air consumes stand energy. It might suddenly release air and injury nearby student or staff if a component such as a hose, regulator, or connection fails. For equipment maintenance might increase the risk of accident in the future. So the likelihood of this hazard occurring is moderate because of the air compression system is used frequently during laboratory activities. The severity of this hazard is rated as high because compressed air system operate under high pressure, and any failure of the hose, regulator, or pipe connection can result in serious consequences. The risk rating is 12. Based on the result, the hazard falls under the medium risk category. So that's all about the hazard.
For discussion part, which is the whole report is on discussion. So this HIREC study actually identify several laboratory hazards, including improper chemical storage, poor housekeeping, exposed wiring, and damaged compressed air equipment. This hazard can cause injuries, electrical accidents, environmental pollution, and disruption of teaching and resolve activities. Therefore, a proper control measure, regular inspection, and a good safety practice are essential to reduce risk, protect laboratory users, and also promote a strong and safety outcome.
Assalamualaikum. Today I will talk about the conclusion. Right, in conclusion, HIREC is an effective tool for improving occupational safety and health by providing a systematic approach to hazard management. implementation of the recommend the control measure will help minimize risk, prevent workplace accidents, and ensure compliance with safety requirements. By continuously providing a strong safety culture and encouraging active participation from all laboratory users, a safer, healthy, and more productive learning and working environment can be achieved for students, staff, and visitors. So that's all from me. Thank you.